going on, everyone? Welcome to the cat. Gotta get fit. Okay, let's take a daytime. Recognize the ambient is doing too much. So the ambient needs locking in with the material. Maybe clamping. So currently, what we're looking at is a little thing here. Change properties. So across the Z-axis, this is an IMG UI window, transparent. It's transparent box, transparent text table. Let's get in rotation, okay? Let's rotate it. Let's make some notes. Graphic stream. Should we start? And what we need to do is transformation. Where was the last bit? Main. Load model. Transparent, no transparency. I was in the model loader. Yeah. Make it a little bigger for you. Not too big. Too big is better than too small, eh? Okay. So this, every frame we're drawing some transparent IM GUI tools for the current model selected. If we load 10 models or 1,000 models on the screen, whichever one we selected to edit, we will have the transformation controls. And then what we want is just, I'm just thinking, is there any reason we can't do this in the same space? Rotate. Okay, so we're just going to hold this. By the way, not everybody uses the term translate. Now, if you're graphics programming, you're going to know if you've been doing it for 2 weeks. Today. Don't really know what the references range should be. That feels right. Starts in the middle at 0. Because that degrees would be right. Okay. Rotation. Now this is upset because we don't have a rotation. So for every model you have, you always want setters. The setter function. Set rotation. Rotation will be a vec 3. So let's go to set position. The function sets position. Now I forget whereabouts in the model matrix this will be. So you have mapped for a matrix of a 4x4 grid, and this I think of like Connect 4, but it's not as big, and each row and column represents different aspects of your model. So the model has a position that it lives in the world, so it will live, if it's central, it will live at 0 on the y-axis down, 0 on the z, back to x, left and right, or east or west. And then it will also have a scale, so this is the size of it, this is the size it was designed to be, and if you double that size, it's been scaled across the x, y, and z by 2. Or if you want it half the size by 0.5, you times it by 0.5, it's half the size. So this 4x4 grid has all this data and it has the rotation. There's the rotation, the scale, translation, and something else. So what we would do, we'll go to chatgpt.com, it's free if you've not used it. And we're going to say, sometimes it's not as simple as just pulling out a row, like here, to get the world transform its position. You can just take the third column, so the third row along all the way down. Yeah, let's have a look. Ooh. Show me an active grid with a key for each type of data, such as rotation, location, view. I think the one was the view, maybe, yeah, not the camera. Where it's facing, let's find out. No, not in code. Show me an ASCII text representing map for. Okay, here we are. Position. How do I extract the rotation? Okay, rotation. It's the 0, 1, 2. Give me red text for the rotation data in a map 4. Oh no. I'm in ASCII. Okay. Represent it. Type. No. Draw a map 4 for me with the rotation data in red. Just making it ugly, right? Welcome to live stream. So the 33 might be sort of, I don't know, like color values. Okay, let's code it. Again, code for extracting rotation data from the matrix would transform. Okay, so here, didn't know GLM allowed you to do this. So the will transform is a 4x4 grid. If we create a 3x3 grid, GLM has active functions or overrides that just give us, 3x3. It's perfect. Now, as it said on ChatGPT, it's been scaled beyond normal 1x1. It will contain that data as well. Hey, Mushroom. Now, obviously, we don't necessarily. See. This direct extracts a rotation and scale the matrix. Oh, by the way, hello, Mushroom is talking to the chat if you tune in later. Shout out, Steve Mushroom. However, if the matrix includes scaling and extract rotation, you get affected by the scaling. To get the pure rotation of that scale, you need to normalize the axis. And remember, when the scale, you can normalize the vectors. Normalize, just put a range of 1. Normalize. That's the range. Boom. The unit length of 1. Okay. Yeah. So this is your basic linear algebra. Normalizing a vector involves dividing each component of the vector by its magnitude by our length, resulting in a new vector that points in the same direction as the length. So it keeps the raw information without any manipulators on it. So it's still this way. There's not a force magnitude. It's its most basic component. Okay. The world transform, by the way, we already have within each model, we already have its pure data. Oh wait, this is to set the rotation. We need to get rotation. No, this is okay. I mean, this is not okay. What we'll do is get rotation. No, we'll keep it. Set rotation. So for setting rotation, others vectors in our setter. So as a okay, so this we need to do three functions: x, y. No, we don't. We don't. I'm going to check the best approach for this. Yeah, okay, we was right. So first we will get rotation. What we will return is back 3. Rotation, return, rotation matrix. Three by 3 grid. And then maybe what we should do here. By the way, everything can go wrong on a live stream. Now I can plan and prep a bit, travel a couple of times. Find this more fun. So blue, get rotation. I think it had a, when you get something, you don't just send it any data, generally speaking. So it looks upset. I don't know how I did that. Okay, so map 3, how do I access? It's like this, an array, and that'll be a reference to it. Yeah, basically. Slider float. Okay, that should do it. Now we saw with chat, so the x was 0. Rotation matrix. Let's have a look. So we get a rotation. X, Y, Z. There's this, okay. So we're suggesting to use an extract function, but I don't see it. Rotation, extract scaling factor to help each column scale. There's GLM. Is that remove? It's not clear why extracted scale, then rotation. Scale that's going to be later. Rotation. Sorry about the spelling, I'm just rushing. After you compute the lengths of the columns which give you the scaling factor. But you didn't use the scale there. Anyway. So should we get the scale factor, the rotation at normalization, and reapply the scale, then turn the rotation at 3. Okay, I think I've understood it. It's also important what order you do the translation scales in as well. So we can see if it's been scaled already and by what power, what magnitude, and normalizing it removes the power of the scaling. Then we apply it back to the raw. I think maybe we need to do that elsewhere. Right, this just return the original. Okay, so what we will do, we're going to return the rotation. With this, it's good to keep. And then when it starts breaking when we apply rotation, and we notice some things wrong, we can come back to this. This is going to be for later, but it might not affect the game. It depends how the engine's used, and I just don't know. Rotation. What's going wrong? Might be this. The type. When you get it returns a copy of the rotation matrix. This means that any changes will not affect it. We'll come back to that. To apply the modified rotation, you must have a method like set rotation. Yeah. Okay. That was it. I needed the second. Certainly newbies to the group, newbie like me, feel free to say hi, subscription, subscribe, send a like, send a dislike. It's all good. Okay, so what is it not liking about our column here? Second argument in angle y. Second parameter in angle y equals isn't happy GLM length. Here's a corrected approach to calculate angle y and other angles of that one. By the way, if you're someone who's not mad on maths, then this might be the channel for you. Because yeah, there's time where I can sit and chill and maybe do a few days of maths and understand this a little more, and put it into practice. And then next month or in 6 months when I come back to this, I forget 80%. So it's just sometimes just a push with ChatGPT. But all we're doing is rotating something in the model. So I'm curious how I did it previously. I have 2 different tools that will rotate. Okay, if it cuts, feel free to come back. I need to hit a button. I think it worked. I'm still here. I'm just tweaking a few things behind the scenes. Yeah. Yeah, I was just editing the title just to get a few more people in the group. Code. Okay, so we need to set rotation. Oh, that's not good. We need to rebuild rotation here of my angles. Just put that for us, yeah. Why is it red? Simple. We don't have a function called set rotation. Yeah. We don't do it. So we'll do all the setters above and the getters. Doesn't really matter which order, but as long as they're grouped. So get position and get rotation. So that means later on we can have another part of the program that can get a certain position of a bad guy or a tree. You just call set and get position, and it will just rehash this. So now we need set rotation, which was any of these with the same set rotation. Just set it anything. Just send it anything. Yeah, of course, we need to send it the new rotation. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. I know I'm a streamer, I'm not supposed to be, but the Euler angles, I just forget what they are. In bullet point, remind what are and list the steps to set the rotation. Let's see what the chat gives us. Okay, here we are. Euler angles are a way to represent the orientation of objects in three-dimensional space using three angles. The picture and the roll. Yeah, I don't know what they are. So you just forget names sometimes. And when you're moving around in 3D space as a camera, so probably your camera or the person's view, you have the up angle, or the up is the roll, like your barrel rolling. If you're a spacecraft, or just the view, and your pitch, rotation pitch around the object. Order in which rotations are applied is a crucial due to the non-commutative nature of matrix. So you want it for degrees. Most packages use radians. But so it's always good fun when you see it working. Set rotation. Okay. Radians is goes up to 60, 6, 12, 18. Can't remember. 180. So I need to take go back 3. The return time. Oops. Actually, this is not relevant. It's not relevant. I'm certain. At 80%. Not free. Rotation. Yeah, this is confusing. Just put it, not changed anything. Rotation. It's not this, but that means it becomes type. Is it gone? Yeah, it's just gone back to normal. It's fixed. Didn't make sense. As well. Set rotation once. I think it's just the. I think it's just a header. But why is set position working fine? Translation. What was get position return? A reference. So maybe that was it. To be sure. A translation. Oh, that's not. It was very messy. I might fix it. Alright, it's because of this. What was it at the time? Mark 3? Okay, so I see the problem. So we're getting a map 3 for the rotation. Set rotation. Need to pull out. We need to be pulling out the different vectors basically. We're sending map 3, not vec 3. So I've gone to my homer. Okay, simple. Just rebuild the matrix. Rebuild the matrix sounds heavy, right? Say hi in chat. Where you all following from? Okay, we're gonna load that engine up. Some of you guys aren't seeing it. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Had a bit of lag, so I've just increased the laptop speed. There you go. So now we have rotation. Might be better if I break them down to rotate X, rotate Y, and rotate Z. We're going to do that. We're going to rewrite 3 getters and 3 setters for retrieving setters angles. We can keep 2 functions also. So we're going to keep set rotation in case we want to set all 3, but we don't want one slider sharing all 3 functions. So we'll have a function for each. No. So this is copy and paste time. Got a lock in, man. Trying to work out what the noise is. Okay. No. Okay, what we're doing, get ulines. This function will get the pitch, the roll, and the yaw. Now it's defined. I don't know how that works. It's not, yeah. So it's getting very upset. I'm upset because of that big horrible capital S. I like my lowercase to begin with. Yeah, font must be. Wait, did I delete set rotation? I did. I don't know why it's doing that just yet. What we would do is can we forward declare here? Forward declare. So we're telling C++ class that this function exists. So here it knows. Why that's getting upset? Come on, chat. You're letting me down. So if you just tune in, this is getters and setters. These are the functions you will use a lot. You get that angle, how do you set that angle? It's getting upset here. It's something I've done before, maybe. I don't think it's because we're missing that. Let's just check. See, this is why it might be upset because of this. Let's just see if it runs. Let's just see. Okay, so yeah, this might be the real. Forward declare. Might have to separate these into header and class, header and CPP. What's the return type? See, normally you would just have a header, maybe you just have a blueprint, just like this. You put the rest in the CPP, but previously it's let me here. So it's not that, it's just something, it's just not. We have to get you angles. Might be that, to be honest. Which it shouldn't be, but okay, I'm just struggling here. Set Z rotation. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT. Say the header file is allowing all functions, definitions, and declarations except the set X, Y, Z rotation functions. Error name followed by must be class or namespace, etc. But I didn't get this error with the other getters and sets find here in the .h. So how can we keep it in the .h defined? They're short. I think I've just overlooked. Okay, let's see. I think I've got the same name of a function elsewhere. It thinks we're trying to set it again. I don't like it. Okay, so this is a learning opportunity for me. I don't know why it's not working. So normally, this is what you would do. You'd put it in the CPP, you would write the class name, which is model new, and then just do that. Set X rotation, blah, blah, blah. But we just want it here. But even the error message is moved. I go to engine, I'm going to go set X. I want to see if that function exists anywhere else. No. Why? Let's have a look. Order of compilation. Might be that. Where do we first use sex? Wait, is it just disappeared? The error's just gone. I did say I don't know why it's not working, right? They're just going to come back though. They may come back. I don't think they should. Loading, loading, loading. Let's turn that speed up. Declared. I might have the same function twice as possible. The fan just needed to go. I'm in the Middle East. I don't like it. Wow. Check the news. We're not trying to get into any conflicts today. Just going to hit up Twitch and pick as well. So open. So we're loaded. Things crashing. The sun. Change the time of day. That's combined. Should be fine for that. So that's simulating the sun moving. It seems to be that. See, it's flashing a bit. No, I think that's okay. But normally this is just going to be like a tree or a bush or just the house, but it's moving everything. Why is it moving everything? That is just one model. Everything is moving, it's just one model. The other lot. Now I need to put back the controls for rotating. But I'm missing, I feel like I need to see some shiny reflective water. Let's go have a look. See what we've got over here. Right, let's work with that one. What we can do. So I'm aware it's not all. So this will lower the mountains, give the mountains more detail, will lower everything. And then bring that in there. Over here. Of course, this is not how we're going out. Just an idea of how you can start to base things. And if we put the water back, see it's brought the whole thing. But yeah, these are all just and you can rotate it. It doesn't like to load more than one model at the minute. I think that's just a pointer issue. Just a pointer issue, never just a pointer issue. Chat, I said, where are you from? Like, you're not there, it tells me. I see you. Okay, so now. So, based on the 3 new setters for rotation, let's extract the rotation and give 3 spiders that individually set new rotations. That's good. That'll do me. In the meantime, let's get a label text. So this is IMGUI. GUI graphic user interface. Move model. And then we want no. GUI text. Rotation. Rotate model. By the way, did I do the get X and get Y and get Z? I don't remember. Is that why my errors when did I delete them? I can just use one getter. It's going to give us this nonsense again. Same error that wasn't an error. Let's rebuild. So we think that the break again, not accept the function. I don't think I even changed this time. Right, yeah, that's okay. Let's get some coding music on. The problem there is I've set the specific height for that box. I think. Yeah. No, I can just change that. I can do it here. If I drag it, change it, just hit the save. Good car is a better model to see on. It won't give us that. Let's see if it's working. There we go. It's not quite right, it's doing it. We need some light and with the sun. So it looks like the world's been rotated, but actually it's just the model. Let's go here, so we don't lose anything. There. It's been moved up. Why? Also, the camera's flipped, so you can't tell what's the Y and what's not. I think the camera's gone upside down. This is fun. Which is why I have this to go back. I want to show you where it's just a bit more practical. We just rotated what like a full scene. That was just one model. Okay, so normally you're going to be doing this. you're going to load up your model. Maybe you want 10,000 trees in your engine in your world. Need some sunlight, some daytime. Yeah. Our own branch. The second mesh, which there's only 2 meshes by the looks of it. I know what you're doing. You see, it's not a big model, so it makes more sense to rotate something small. The problem is obviously the slider. It's just too big. Now, this is one of the bugs I need to look at. Once I load the world model, materials die. Be a shader problem somewhere. But we've kind of got what we set out to have. What I would do is change the sliders. So we're going to need to be because if you keep your finger on it, it's rotating it 180 degrees every frame. So it's just spinning like crazy. Even one might be fine. I'm not sure. Things are hard to visualize in an engine. You can have the maths right, but only conceptually. We just want to slow down the rotation either way. You see, that's how rotation should feel like. Just seems something off about why. XX. Slowing down a little bit. I don't think I did a minus. No. It was at the issue before, it was just both. Yeah, it was just 5 and 5. So it basically was spinning in the same direction. Okay, that's working. But you might want is a visual representation, like something to drag. Does it matter right now? What I will do is let's just get it in the right place, the right size. Simulate night times, so on. Interesting to have get a button just to reset everything back to 0. And also I might have, so what I had before was just the sun looping. So after every 20 seconds the sun rises and sets. It just simulates a bit of, see, quite subtle. Just simulates day and night cycle. You can change the light color during the process. Actually not too light. Maybe yellow. Voice crash. Cat knows I'm on a break. Yo, back. 5-minute break. What I want to do is work out why we're crashing. Load up. Second model, which is here. Dialog. I think it's here. Let's find out. Reload. Definitely see the breakpoints. If I'm going to load another model, it will sometimes crash. So, you should be able to see it now. Yeah. Here and here. Interesting, it's not crashing just yet. Let's see this here. Now we can see, because we've added the rotation, now we can see both the glasses. Let's rotate one. This is the first time I've tested them to select multiple. Okay, it won't let us change which one we're selecting. This is an IMGUI little annoyance. It's because the names are the same. It's easy to fix. Change it. Select the trees. I'm just trying to get it to crash, and it won't. Let's load up the cottage. And the goal is to see whereabouts it crashes. Now we have cottage as well. Okay, so we've got a crash here. This might be the reason. Interestingly, it's the IMG UI, which was the last thing I expected. In combo, what it means. So the first thing we can do to try and fix this is this might break a few other things. What tends to happen is if we load something now, it crashes. And it might be the IMG UI, the user interface that was doing it. It's not crashed. Obviously, I can't select other models to rotate. Because I've just removed that function. See if it crashes now. The tree is loaded. And so what we would do is put this code back in. Let's see if it crashes now. It's probably going to, right? Okay. Got it. And come on, why are you not crashing? It's annoying because we've not tried to fix it yet, and it's just stopped crashing. Of course, one bug I do have is if I load the car up, then anything else I load up after, it doesn't have textures. I can do it manually, but of course we're not going to do that. Cottage, and then we can choose colors for the cottage. You see the colors on the lines. Just put the color. So it's on the inside of the door. So Maybe they miss a colour. Green colour. Maybe white is what you need there. Something's going a little bit wrong, right? Most of the code's working. The sun's affecting it. Sunlight. Let's try and crash it. Doesn't want to crash. There's two trees in the middle there. Move on out. So if I take these breakpoints off, I just want to see if it's still crashing. I don't remember that I did anything that fixed it. Which means I didn't. Okay. You can see you just get a few things on screen and you can quickly see that you can start to build a game in a world. I don't know about Bugatti and the giant magic mushroom. Maybe you guys do. Or you spinning magic mushroom. And maybe you move your trees. World. Does it have some nice terrain tools here? Spend some time on, so we can directly manipulate the terrain. Just we need to get there. It's higher and lower. So turn it off, and you've got your mountain. It's all there, homies. Collections. And also with the terrain, I had a nice little tool. By the way, if you want an extra view, do here. Or maybe you want a view that stays in the same place. When you're editing the band on your terrain tool, there you go, you can see it's got bigger. New band, time of day still impacts everything. Some brightness. One. No trees, background. Pre-render the terrain. So you start to get some simple tools for a game engine. What we need to fix is the crashing on model loading. So let's just try that a few more times. If I load up the Bugatti, nothing else worked after. So let's. Cheers, everybody. Okay. Nice Bugatti. If I open something else, it's not crashing. You might think, Ryan, that's good, right? It's not crashing. But it's been crashing every time, and I haven't fixed it. Which means it might come back. It might just holler later for no reason. Looking like Luigi. Okay, it might crash now. Oh, crash. Piece of crap. I don't want it to work. Okay. So the foremost bug right now is this. So I've just loaded the cottage, which you can see here. But you can't see it because of all the black. Is it the light color? And the shader? Some brightness? Is it the shader not loaded? Oh, no. Okay. So let's go to the render function. It might just be. It might not be getting the right amount of texture units. So here, classic OpenGL save. Activate texture number 0 and bind it to no texture. Maybe a bit. I broke something else, completely unrelated. Cottage. Wait, so I've loaded up one and it fixed the other. So it's that's looking nice. By the way, I didn't model this. I just googled free models, free OBJ files. If anybody wants credit, by looking at that, it's very high detail if you check inside. I just don't have everything rendered like the shininess, reflectiveness, which there's a basic light. So the version is a lot better, which I'll code up. I really want to be this. At the start of every loop. Code needs to be clean. So what did I load first? It was the Bugatti. Piece of crap. And then the house work. The house made the Bugatti work. Does it work this time? Yep. Just go inside. Give it some sun. So we loaded the car up and nothing worked. Then we loaded up the house, which has textures. So it enabled something in the textures. Great placeholder texture. Let's have a look. You know what? I'm gonna go to the shader. The shader's gonna fix this. No, I heard you say, Ryan, this is the shader. Diffuse color, material and texture. So let's just go for material. Let's just assume there's no textures. Back here. Okay. So it's working. I think it's completely working. Time of day will fix this. So this should have a level of transparency. So this should better protection. Alpha. Oh, given material, it might not be enabled in OpenGL transparency. It's just something. Yeah, I don't think that's rendered. So, it looks different. but it's not transparent. I think it was grey last time, or I got that wrong. Maybe not, maybe it's just the same. I don't remember that sort of reflection behaving different. No, it's not that, we had changed that. Transparency might just be disabled in OpenGL. Okay, chat. How and where to enable transparency? It's just a GL, it's a little push command. Okay, GL blend. Blend, where are you? Main somewhere. Been here before. GL. Okay, there we go. Done before. Why did I disable it? I'm worried. Worried face. It's 5 AM in the Middle East. But this was live. Actually, the whole car could change quite a lot. Problem was, not every... Okay. Hopefully there's a transparency. There's got to be, right? I mean, that's a transparent vehicle right there. Let's have a look. I think it's just the shade is not correct. Sounded like an explosion. You might have heard that on the microphone. We're in Israel. To transparency. Let's just debug the shader. Where's the... Oh my God. It's not the screen. When did that disappear? Maybe that's why we're not crashing. Oh no, there we are. So we sim. And let's just see what message we get. Pause it. Pause it. Let's go again. Pause. Check off async. Check off info. We should get some debugging information here. Okay, once it's loaded. Just log in, will that do it? It's a very, very large file, and the debugger loads up every vertex, like over 1 million. I have that log. I've also got it writing to, let me share the display with you. There you go, write to text file. You can see how many lines there is. 1.7 million. So if we go to frag, okay, so the model fragment shared a load file. Made everything 50% transparent. Material transparency just made everything invisible, but you couldn't see the line. I don't think it loaded. Maybe I've got it wrong. Material, spelled it right. Transparency. Alpha. Let's try that. Gets a float. Yeah. Why is it going so slow? So you can see transparency is going to add a lot of all sorts of the game. Okay, something's gone wrong here. Maybe this should do it. That might have been an error, but it was still okay. We need to stop logging every vertex. isn't doing enough. I've got so much login that I can't do it because I can modify the code login, and so then I can't see the error message about the shader. Another one of these. I'm just going to check the news to see what the explosion was. It was a delivery guy. Let me bring you in on this screen capture. Okay, just keep debugging turned on. Just pause so you couldn't see. And should be able to read it now. Okay, there you go. It's counting 1.7 million vertices. It's probably not a model we want to be using testing, to be honest. That's for your engine that works, not your makeup engine. Crash. Let's just try a model that's simpler. Everything transparency map set to a certain value. This is where we create the material. Maybe we're not even loading transparency. What's wrong with us, man? Not loading transparency. Okay, I'm going to zoom out. Ambient diffuse. We only load in ambient and diffuse. Which is why emissive seems to be strained. Bro, what's wrong with you? What I did was I copied and pasted something, I think to get, I don't remember the reason. Maybe it was just to add the error message, and I lost the rest. And here, the same with, I was only getting diffuse textures, not specular. Okay, so let's try and do this now. I'm getting tired. I'm going to go to ChatGPT. I won't do the textures. Let us load all of the types of material using MTL as a reference, KA, KB, etc. Here is the material object format. I need to do is pull out that material. This is the structure we send individually to the shader, and we're just going to get that replicated. See what we have is, we can do it ourselves, but this is the new version of doing it yourself. Do you know how it works? Yes. So it's all good. So we it wasn't extracting the transparent factor from every part of the car. And so whatever was in memory, we still have a transparent frame, we're sending it, but we don't have any data in it, so it just uses the data that was already there. And transparency. Okay. By the way, there might not be any data, but I'm pretty sure there is. Okay, let's try it. I think that's enough. I think the shader was sending. So now we have that data, we have to send it into the uniforms. Yeah, transparency. And the shader, where did we leave the shader, by the way? I think something's going to work. I don't know if it's the desired effects, to be honest. I think something's going to work. Okay, yeah. Is that everything transparent? Yeah. We just want that alpha channel. Maybe just the transparency. That's everything. If this doesn't work, I think it's just the card isn't transparent, but it should work. So what we need is, if we go through every part of the car, that's good. I think the wheels are like 14 or 15. Yeah. So this is where you've really added some materials, you see. So is that transparent now? It's not, is it? Where that is. We need a bigger material to see. I mean, that's definitely transparency. Why is Homie not giving us transparent windows? What's wrong with him? Shout out to the artist. Okay, I'm going to quickly just see if any of the models is transparent. Regards to pre-model, should have done this before, but at least we now have transparency working. Does it look transparent to me? This is the Bugatti Chevron 3D model Blender. The prompt file is a blend format. Okay. Bugatti in Blender. That will share the screen. Sorry, you couldn't see that. Couldn't see all of that. Okay, look, this is no transparency. This looks very much like. Where do you recognize this from? So that's a good sign. So this is in game engine, and this is how we modeled it. And this is shading. I wonder if window. Where's transparency gone? Glass. How to quickly add transparency on a blend material. ChatGPT. I think we need to go into one of the things. Okay, it's something for another time. But the engine now has transparency. And the best way to demonstrate it might be with. Let's have a look. I think the reason that was disappeared is because we took out we're going to have two shaders, one for materials and one for textures. I'll do that off screen. Maybe we just need the buttons. Sometimes you have all sorts of strange things, like sometimes you have the texture inside but not out. Yeah, this is the final colour. Zero dot transparency. Where are we? Diffuse. Oh wait. I thought I just put this back. Diffuse. interesting. I don't think that's being used anywhere. No. So it's just regular diffuse as it should be. I think it's this one. There you go. And that's one method. You notice how it's at the roof as well. So you know in a game when you hover your mouse over a building and you can see what's inside it and so on. Set the transparency to this. Or there's other ways to do it as well. Better ways. Also, what's cool is we're doing that in real time. At least we're crashing again, so we have transparency, just the model didn't. Okay, that's good night from me.
This world has room for everyone.
Because you're chilling, I don't want to leave you all.
Good earth is rich.
Good night, guys.
And can provide for everyone.
Make sure you subscribe as well.
The way of life can be free and beautiful.
Oh wait, I missed a question there. Are you still connected? How did you learn C++? Attempts to learn an OpenGL seems to get confusing further. Let's see. I just can't see the bottom of my screen because of my laptop. Good question. Okay, I'll put all the resources. So on udemy.com, there's a course for $10 by Tim. It's the number one rated course. Let me link it for you. Udemy.com C++. So I did this course. That's the wrong website. There we are. C++. What's his name? Tim? Yeah. So here's the course I did. So I did this course, and then, but there's no, you're not going to make games with it, but you're going to make games with what you learn. And so the question is, and the key is like, can you keep going, or how do you keep going? So once you've done 20%, 30% of the course, start to learn something where you can start to display some images on screen, get a little guy on the screen, move him about with the keys. You're not going to do that with any proper course. It's just going to give you like the boring. So simple, boring foundations, which is the stuff I forget all the time, which is why I go on to ChatGPT. And then you want something like SFML or SDL, which is like a 2D equivalent of what we're doing here. So let me show you what I did. I made a game, I made a 2D game. So I was making this 2D game here. And I developed it quite far. But then that's when I realized I should be doing 3D, because I'm wasting my time learning and getting in depth in just 2D. After 2 years, I was the 2D product. Because I wanted the knowledge. The knowledge is what's valuable. So from here, I just paused it, quit, and came straight to here. So my first project was an MMO, 2D MMO, and then now it's a 3D game engine. And that's all I've created in my project. My maths is just above average as far as ability, but what I remember is low. And sometimes I'll learn on the go, and I'll remember some things, use ChatGPT. And honestly, people are doing it at work. People are doing it everywhere, really. Used to go. It's just some people are slick and they don't show you. I don't really care. You just gotta get going. Don't quit. Peace. Make sure you subscribe. I've just followed you as well. Subbed. Okay, let's get a free OBJ file with transparent. Let's just see if there's anything. Just to see if it will find the material or render it correctly and so on. Probably everything I make, I'm going to make myself. So it's going to be simple, I have simple models, and I'm not going to keep getting errors of every different type of incompatible texture. I want transparency, I want shininess, I want good light, some textures. That's it. That's it, homie. Okay, great. Not a good start at all. Transparency 1.5. Yeah, that's terrible. But is that because I think that's the shader? Material, diffuse color times texture. Is there a texture? Seems to have kind of started this time. What did I get wrong? The diffuse contribution is not doing anything. What was that bit? This is not that complex, but some meshes have textures and some don't. And this code can work on either, but when one does and the next one doesn't, it doesn't know how to decide. Oh, not material. Transparent or not? Pops up. No. That's not transparency. I've never worked with transparency. You wouldn't believe it. Fix the transparency. Okay. I don't know if that's going to fix it, but I think it's the first step. We might get transparency now. Does this mean it's not? I've got a shader error. So, yeah. Vector swizzle out of range. The vector swizzle. Watch the vector swizzle. That does make more sense. It's not. Good renderer, sorry, I'm very tired. How's it going? Hey man. All good. Sorry. I don't know what you mean, but yo. I say, how's it going, man? Might not be a man. But I'm gonna check my YouTube statistics. I think from 1,000 viewers, think there was one time I had 500 views and everyone was male on analytics. I've not checked since. So why would this not? Well, let's fix missing the most recent chat. Scroll. No. By the way, how fun is the rotation? Yeah, sweet. Okay. No, I know about the jump. I know about these jumps. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So feel free to follow me and see how not to code, because you know more than me if you've made a full-on. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I think part of the problem also is textures here. So if you remember from earlier where I lost some functions, I copy and paste blunder. Here we only have texture diffuse. So I'm just going to show. We need texture types, etc. Yeah. Very good. Feel free to link us once you got out to show. Give us a like and subscribe. It helps my algorithm. If you unsubscribe in 6 months, I won't put it against you. Or even in a week. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Having a coffee. A big ad. I think I got there. Retro's all good. Did you see it? If you scroll up, I don't know if you actually, you might not have the link. Let me. There we go. My first game. Yeah, check this out. I think this might be your thing. Maybe there's a better link actually. This was my first. This was my first game. I'm finished. So it's my first game. It will be my first game. I finished it. It was pretty like. I was very proud of the first effort. And then actually, I paused this project up a bit to into 3D. I quite like simulation. It was based on I chose a random city in the UK. Yeah, good fun. Specular. Specular. Pretty sure I don't have any specular textures on anything. Error emissive colour for material. What does that mean? Should there be colour? The problem here might be. See, that's not transparency. Oh, by the way, it was networked. So if you go to some of the videos, so you'll see there was 8 clients walking about. It was all on my. It was all running through a server. I wrote a little server. Downloading emissive colour. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Okay, I'll show. I think a few of you did. Trees. Yeah, I do. Why did I lose textures there? I think it's a shade. Again. The music's just gone. That's what happens when you close the wrong window. I think because it's quite a fluid stream, it's hard to manage it. Yeah, it was SFML. Yeah, so the backend's OpenGL, but I didn't really know what that meant so much. Then when I did that for like nearly a year on and off, and then I came to this, there was concepts. I was like, I recognize this. Viewports and just everything. So now whenever people come to me and ask for my opinion, I'll tell them to do 2D first. Nobody wants to hear that. I just did it. I was never going 3D more. Okay. I should be here. So what did I lose? I lost textures, right? Jeez. Yeah, didn't think the game. Feel free to, but you can send me a private. Wait, we got our transparency. We've got transparency. We've got textures back anyway. You can tell from. Oops. Yeah, I mean, I guess OpenGL is probably the same or more, I don't know. Maybe by the same company, or maybe. I'm not happy with this. That's why. Line 73. Just start. Probably got 2 times symbols. Yeah, I saw there's a WebGL as well, right? But does that mean like it's done for a browser? What did I get wrong with the diffuse? Wait. I just need a week on shaders. Crash. That's beautiful because now I have the wrong texture bound on one. The rest working. Oh, I love it. So I think that's loading to space from materials. That's an easy fix. It works the first time. This is like put someone off coding engines, I know it. Are you in any Discords, by the way? Nice. Related Discord. So what I'm in the Cherno SFML Discord, it's probably helped me more on coding than any one source. And then ChatGPT, the second. This might be some extra type error. Really, it depends on your level. If you're like, so I'm just guessing. Actually, I just don't know. But if you're a junior to the next level, or if you're like a competent junior, so I'm all self-taught, so I have more bad habits than anybody you'll meet. But I've been self-taught for a while, and so I tend to recognize probably most of the things ChatGPT gets wrong before I even implement it. So I think if you're competent or if you're average, it's okay. And believe me, it's here to stay. But yeah, when I first used it a year ago, you could tell like you can just see the change. It's just a lot better. the house. If I can actually rotate just a sub mesh, I probably have to do a bit of hard work on that. Okay, why is the car losing materials? Yeah, I don't know. I spent over a week ChatGPT writing the importer. So I think the backend is nice. I don't know if I want to call it backend, the API. Really. But it's not. You're not just importing a library. You've got to write it. You've got to write most of it for yourself. Really. It just handles the file types. I feel like I want to keep streaming. Hey, where you from if you don't mind sharing? Oh, well, let's check out. Did I go to your channel? Let me follow you. Don't underestimate Ned. I'm looking at his videos from 5 years ago. Is that your Ludum deer? That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, let's what API would you use? Is that your work? Oxford, from Nottingham, currently in the Middle East. You might say I got stuck in Israel. It's HIT. It's HIT. So I thought I'd crack on with my streaming. Okay, let's keep this practical. That looked really good. I think because my learning curve is so high, it's slow for results. Very slow for results, like visually. So I've just spent most of this stream just getting some transforms in. But now that will work with everything. What's the next thing I want to do? Fix that. Cool. Yeah. don't understand why I'm losing my materials here. Shader, diffuse, and material. What do we call it? Diffuse color. So are you in the industry? There you go. I think I know what I need to do, actually. I think I know the solution. But it might cause some problems. Okay. So what we have, let's go to ChatGPT and get this on the street. If there is no texture, chat, that's its name, then we generate an empty texture and send it to the samplers so the uniforms are satisfied. However, if the entire model has no textures, then I load one that does, and vice versa. They stop loading, as do materials. I need a clause whereby we check if the texture isn't the empty default one, we load the texture in the diffuse variable. I vec3 diffuse equals will include the material dot diffuse color if there is only a default texture present, empty. If it has texture data, we will also include the multiply text. What is it called? Text diffuse color. Presumably, we can check text diffuse color having R and G and B values on all under 255, since the default texture has them all at 255. So the clause, I should have just done it myself. The clause will be generating two versions of diffuse. But this is impressive because it's probably going to get this right more or less straight away. But for anyone checking, GL text, no. Oh wait. So we create a placeholder texture. We should do the alpha as well. And we might be able to put a minus here because we might actually use, I think that's black, or it's white. I think that's white. We might actually use a white texture at some point. So we can't say all white textures are not real. Okay, if is default texture. wonder if I want to incorporate that. We need a way to identify this as a default texture. Maybe you'd say the alpha is always 17 because you're just never going to get a texture like that. Okay. So we want to be able to load the house and the car at the same time. But loading one affects how the other one loads. And it's probably not going to work, but I think this is the approach to debug. Okay. I guess it didn't work, but how much didn't it work? Okay, now we have... Wait, what did I just load that time? So now it does work, but the... Press for a uniform bubble. Can you elaborate? You mean instead of... Wait, do you mean... So the problem is I don't know what mesh will have textures and what won't. But also some... So we're not just rendering the mesh in this function, we're rendering the submesh. So maybe the window doesn't have a texture, it just has a material. Then maybe the wall has both. And some can have both, but I don't know. So it... Like you might have a material, something with like 1,000 materials or textures. Maybe what you're saying is still relevant. I just can't process it fully. Vertex. But why didn't the house load? That's just strange. So I think it's loaded and it's got textures and it's not drawing. I think that's the result of the code. Color is diffuse. It's default texture. Wait, there's no such thing as ChatGPT, honestly. Rewrite the ball part. Shaders don't use balls. Maybe Int should have done. I think you picked up on that as well, right? When you said ball. I think you did with the quotes. But you can just use an integer as a ball. But yeah, shaders don't. See, now, if you didn't know that, you could be here you'd be here forever because that code was right, but it was wrong. So a ball is when a value Boolean is 0 or 1, but a shader, which is code that runs on your graphics card, doesn't have that. Default step. Okay, I'm liking what you're saying then because I think what you're saying is true. But there's just something going wrong in my my shader where if I load something with material and I load another model which has a texture or vice versa, it seems to upset it. I think it's the C++ side actually, which makes me think this might be a waste of time. Okay. Let me just load a texture. That's just so strange because it gave us light. It fixed the world. That's just gone elsewhere. So now everything with textures, and that should have textures, is dead. And what was the new thing I got? Cool. Yeah, anything with textures is just not working now. Which is okay, because it means it's just a simple bug. Oh, that's terrible. That's a bad bit of coding. Let's keep if statement and create a bool using an int. But yeah, originally, so as the code was, I was diffuse. So this is how we was originally doing it. I think the issue is on the CPP side, to be honest. Binding and unbinding. Nice transparent house. Yeah. No, so the shader is being called for every submesh. So you might have you may already, like, I'm sorry if I'm telling you things you already know, but like you might have something that one part has texture, another part doesn't, and so it has to handle both cases for an individual model. So it just gets more. And actually, most of this is probably we can reason it out and give a solution, which I've done a few times, but it just doesn't work. So it's just a bug. There's a bug, basically. That can go. There's one bug. Why am I getting transparent? Why was that transparent? By the way, it's like 6:30 in the morning here. Also, so it must be it's R4 for you. Mm-hmm. Ah, wait. Wait, was that this? I didn't change that, did I? So what did you do a degree in? I saw. I mean, you live in Oxford, so you did a degree, right? Or you was born with a degree? Don't lie. Actually, I applied for Imperial. They told me to come back next year. It was full. It was MSc in AI, but then it was COVID time, so I went local. So this is a model without textures. I think you've seen this probably. Now this is a model that's going to crash. Okay, a model with textures. Now why is this model not loading? That's never happened with this model, never. Oh wait, is this because of text text diffuse pull up, right? And can I ask you? I think you're going to know this. Sweet, computer science sound. Yeah, I did mine in theology. Yeah, I was doing religion, and then I retrained. I did some online stuff with Microsoft. I got some certification from Microsoft. That's how I got onto the masters. And then COVID came on. Yeah, no. The question I was going to ask you, it's bigger. So text diffuse color, and then here I have RGB, and this is just the same, right? It's just the same. But that's question mark. When you copy a little cottage. Okay, so I'm getting transparency as soon as I load textures because of so material transparency is defaulting, I think. All the magic happens off stream. Fixing all the bugs. Why is this happening? How do I remove transparency from final output? I thought it was just put in one, right? So I did that a minute ago and it still was transparent, which might be a shader compiling error. Might be fixed now. Wow, I love that. I love that it's giving me a transparent at a random value for no reason. Okay, let me see if I've still got the Bugatti working. What did I change to get transparency? Texture diffuse color. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I love how you can have 10 viewers and nobody talks. What's wrong with you people? You're making me drink more. So why is that giving me transparent? It sets to 1. specular. This is specular. So you see what happened there? I loaded the cottage and it had no textures. And I loaded the car. No, the cottage didn't load. Let's try again. So this is standard. Okay, there it is. I think. No. Texture's working. And even the good old specular. But the car, that's a good look. It does seem though that maybe the car is rendering it. You see, so this window here. Oh, I'm really sorry, man. See, this is a rookie stream. If I look at the colours, it seems as though the car is rendering all these, maybe all these crappy colours. And therefore does not pick up materials properly. Although, no, everything seems to be. It's grey. Yeah, there's no material colour bit. So, specular text times material specular colour. So it should just be tear it up. Right. It should just be this, and because it's white, if it's a blank texture, just diffuse color, specular color. That should give us everything. So textures load. That's the wrong button. So materials load. Nope. So it gives me one or the other. So last time when I loaded textures, it then fixed the Bugatti but broke the cottage. Yeah, so now the Bugatti's worked. So that's on the C++ side. That's done something in the render function, bound a texture or something. But as you can see, it's not drawn. It's not drawn the model, which is very unusual because the render call's still there. I've never seen anything like that. Well, I'm going to actually see if it's not a shader problem. It's compiled. Let's load the shader. So like this, it's saying error loading emissive. Oh, that's just the emissive color. Now, let me just see if I'm using the emissive color. There we go. I don't think I'm using the emissive color yet, so it's not destroying the maths anyway. It's emissive. Just get rid of that, baby. So I was going to go like 2 hours, about an hour ago. Go like 2 hours, about an hour. What we're going to do here. Maybe it's not an error. No, this variable is, to be honest. So YouTube is telling me my bitrate is too high. Kind of wild. As in the quality is too high. Maybe it's just a waste. I don't know what this is. Location. So the last argument where I'm using diffuse count GLU form 1i. So what we're going to do here, if you're just joining, the problem is when I'm rendering, it seems when I'm using materials, I'm using texture and load a secondary model data with any materials. Materials are all black. Non-existent, like that. If I use the word depth, it will trigger and just start talking about depth buffers, and that's not the issue. No, use one word. So for diffuse, sometimes I use material.diffuse color. If I know there's a texture, if I know there is, I will use text diffuse color and diffuse equals. However, a given shader call, I use either. Solutions. Give me solutions, man. Okay, again, function. It's just I don't know if it's that because I'm later finding again, but that models maybe. Okay, that's something different. Because you see we have some colours. It's kind of annoying, right? They don't seem to be corresponding to what's actually there. Maybe that's the last time I loaded it. This needs a good debug or good walkthrough. The Visual Studio debugger, check what materials are existing in memory and what's not. Good night, everybody. Although, wow, it's 7 AM. I might go have a coffee in half an hour. Please subscribe or hit like or dislike.